Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's Amy Bennett with the AM Show, and I'm so glad that you are listening, whether you're listening live or you are listening later. I'm so glad you're here. It's so fun to see some new faces around here, so if you're new, make sure you introduce yourself, tell us where you are from. Yesterday we had a fun day talking about all the different states that we're in. So we're from South Carolina to California and states in between. So welcome wherever you are. Let's see, last night was a great night because I went back to the gym for the first time since I've hurt my ankle. It was exactly, if I can say those words, exactly 8 weeks yesterday that I went to the gym, and I haven't run yet, but I did walk and it hurt after like 15 minutes. So I had to get off and do some weight stuff, but it felt really good just to be back and get some of those endorphins going. And yeah, I'm really grateful. So this whole thing has just totally reminded me not to take for granted our health. And if you are able to exercise, please do it. I know it's so hard, and it's not fun, but I definitely have not wanted to take it for granted since getting well. I mean, even just taking for granted the fact that I can walk out to my car and get in the driver's seat and just drive. You know, I don't have to like hobble out there, take this boot off, drive, put it back on when I go. Oh my gosh, y'all, it was such a pain. I'm so glad to be over with that, but I am to the point where I am not wearing the boot anymore. I'm not wearing the brace except for when I work out. Anyway, so I am really excited to be past that. So this morning, what I wanted to, and today, today I'm actually taking Emma to a follow-up appointment. So she had, and I don't want anybody to worry, but she had her regular checkup a couple weeks ago, and the doctor wants her to go to a heart specialist. She's just been complaining of her heart skipping a beat, and I have that. I think it's just I don't even know what it is, but they just want to double check and go to a pediatric cardiologist and get checked out today. So I think it's gonna be totally fine. It's just a precaution that he's doing. So we're gonna be going up to Charlotte today, so you can pray for that. Anyway, but today, it's kind of interesting that I'm talking about those two things. Today I wanted to share, and there's going to be a truck coming, I think, here in a second. But today I wanted to, he's like looking at me, what are you doing out there? Anyway, today I wanted to just share a little prayer that I wrote today, and wanted to share, maybe you want to start praying it too, and talk about where it came from and all this. And so what I wrote in my journal this morning was, make me a healer today. Make me a healer today. And that sounds kind of weird. Make me a healer today. And let me tell you just a little bit where this has come from. So I don't know, like our family loves the superhero movies. Like they're so big the last couple years, and everybody says, like, you know, it's one of those like icebreakers. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? And you know, some people would like to be Spider-Man, and some people would like to be Thor, and anyway, but mine has always been that I can remember. I think I've wanted to be invisible sometimes, but really I wanted to be a healer. I would love to be able to heal. And so I've had this kind of like thought in the back of my mind, and then what I'm going to share today is not my original thought at all, but it is from Trim Healthy Mama. If you don't know, let me give you a little background on that real quick. Trim Healthy Mama was started by two women, and they were on a quest to get healthy and all about food. They had been vegans, they had been raw food eaters, and then their health had declined, and they went on this journey to figure out what our body needed to not only be healthy but to lose weight. And they came out with this whole way to eat, and I cannot go into it because it's like when they did it, they created a book that was like 600 pages to explain it all. But anyway, so now they have this big ministry that they've since traditionally published books. They have online store with products, and they have just been teaching me. And the really big thing is they don't eat sugar. They get everybody off of sugar, and that has really helped me the last couple years as I've gotten off sugar. I am not actively eating sugar. And they've just sort of really taught me how to eat well. And they are both believers. They have the family. They're all believers, and it's just incredible. They approach it from such, and the way that they found that we can eat healthy is from the Bible. That's where they went. They said, okay, God created this food. What are we supposed to eat, and what are we not? And they have just been such an inspiration to me over the past couple of years, and have really taught me more how to eat. I have obviously not nailed that down. But anyway, they have a podcast that they started coming out with, I think it was like last year or the year before, and one of the podcast was, did you know that your name is Healer? Did you know that your name is Healer? And they spent the entire podcast talking about how and they do speak a lot to women and a lot to mothers who have children in the home. They are actually, one has 11 kids, I think, and they've adopted and they have biological kids. One, I think, has 11 kids, and one has, oh my gosh, I don't know. And then they have a lot of siblings who have a lot of kids. I mean, it's incredible, the number of people. But anyway, why was I saying that? They have a lot of people. Why was I saying that? I don't know why I was saying that. But anyway, oh yeah, they speak to a lot of moms. That is like their target, because it's Trim Healthy Mama, right? So their audience is mothers. And they were speaking to them, and they were telling us that we do have the superpower of healing. And that comes from a lot of different things that might surprise you. One, as people who, and this is a little generalization, so it's not totally true in all households, but a lot of times we do as women have a lot of control over the food we buy and the food that is served in our house and outside of our house. And we all know, I don't need to go into a sermon about how food is medicine. Food is medicine. If you do need a sermon on that, you can go check out Trim Healthy Mama. Your food is your medicine. Your food is your medicine. And as moms who have control over the food that is served in our house, we are healers. We have a choice about, are we giving life or death to our families from the food that we eat? And oh man, this is convicting just to me. I have a iced cookie cake that I served my kids for a pool party in my kitchen. So this is not judgment for me by any means, but we do have a lot of control over whether we are healing our family or whether we are destroying their health. And so that is a huge thing about health. We also, and they didn't limit it to food, they do have a big concentration on food. So they're just trying to encourage people how much we have an influence on our family's health just by the food that we feed. Also, we have superpowers of healing because of the words that we speak. If you can go to, they spoke about it, but if you talk to, and I've mentioned her many times, Dr. Caroline Leaf, she is a I don't even know what you call her. She's a brain specialist. But the words that we speak, when we speak negative words to people, we are making the person we're talking to, we are making their brains toxic. And when people's brains are toxic, their health becomes toxic. Like, we have such power in the words that we speak to other people, the words we speak to ourselves and the words that we speak to other people. We are having constant impact on our family's health and healing in the way that we speak and the words that we say. Not only the words that we say, but the attitudes and the looks on our faces. Have you ever tried to not say anything, but then you're like rolling your eyes and you got that judgmental look on your face? Oh man, I'm so guilty of that. Sometimes somebody said that one time, just stop and think about what your face looks like to your kids and to your husband. I mean, we can knock somebody down just by the look on our face. We don't even have to say anything. And then let's talk about the impact that we have when we appropriately hug and kiss our families. There was some study, and I read it a long time ago, that there was such healing power in a hug, that if you were to hug a person like 8 seconds, a person needs hugged 8 seconds a day. Like, so get an 8-second hug in. And then I don't even know all the benefits, but it has a benefit when you are hugging a person. So my husband and I, actually, it's a thing that we have, is that we try to stop and hug each other for 8 seconds. And that's so silly. Like, when we were dating, I remember somebody, I think it might have been 20 years ago, like when we were dating, when I heard this, and I was like, I cannot imagine not going, a whole day without hugging Scott, we were dating, of course we were hugging a lot. And now it's kind of like our lives can be so busy, and he's going this way and I'm going that way, and we're so busy, and sometimes it's like, do we even touch each other all day long? I mean, we sleep in the same bed, and sometimes it's like, did we even touch today? And it's the same with our kids though. Our kids can be, especially, you know, as we have teenage and adult kids, do we stop and hug them and show them love with our touch? And so all of this is in this podcast with Serene and Pearl and Danny, who is on the podcast too. And so I'm going to link that podcast in the comments when I get done here. It is so incredible. And it just opened my eyes so much to the power that we have as a person, not just as a mom, but just as a person. And just, I have been praying so much for healing for my family. You know, I have a son that is adopted. Of course we have emotional stuff going on. Of course we have trauma. Of course we have hurt. Of course, our family was totally disrupted, if you will, several years ago. Of course we have hurts and just stuff that needs to be healed. My family has a lot of, like, both Scott and Jacob have ADHD. My kids all have like stomach issues because of the foods they eat. We have allergies that we're dealing with. As I've talked about ad nauseum, I have at the moment hormonal issues and energy issues and thyroid issues. And it's like, I've been praying so hard for God to heal us. And what he's been showing me is that I have a lot of that power. And I say I have that power, but let me tell you, the power comes from Jesus alone. The way that I changed what's coming out of my mouth, the way that I change what's on my face, the way that I change the emotions that I feel, the attitudes that I have, the food that I eat, it is all come down to time spent with Jesus and letting him heal me first. Jesus is the ultimate healer, but his healing needs to come from Jesus to us. And then as he heals us and he heals our hearts and he heals our bodies and he heals the reasons that we're eating bad food and he heals the reasons we have bad attitudes in our heart, and then he heals the reasons that we're triggered all the time, and he heals our past hurts. Like, once he can heal us, then we can heal others, because our words change, our attitudes change, what we serve to our family changes because we're changed. And so it's been such eye-opening that I have, through Christ, the superpower of healing. And I just wanted to share, just from Proverbs, some of the verses that just speak to this. And I'm just going to go really quick through them, and they're all mixed up. I was just doing this morning, so I didn't have time to kind of like organize them and all of this stuff. So it's going to be a lot of verses. So Proverbs 17:22, a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Proverbs 25:24, better to live on a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. Proverbs 23:2-3, put a knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony. Do not crave his delicacies, for that food is deceptive. Proverbs 15:30, a cheerful look brings joy to the heart, and good news health to the bones. Proverbs 25:16, if you find honey, eat just enough, too much of it and you will vomit. Proverbs 27, the righteous man leads a blameless life, blessed are his children after him. Proverbs 16:24, pleasant words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. Proverbs 15:4, the tongue that brings healing is a tree of life. Proverbs 10:11, the mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. And even if you go into the New Testament, is looking at how Jesus, Paul tells people in his letters to greet one another with a holy kiss, and Jesus in Luke affirmed the woman who had not stopped kissing his feet. I mean, it's just on and on, guys. It's on and on, that the way our attitudes are, the words that we speak, what's on our face, how we touch and how we interact with people. And if you just even get into, y'all haven't even touched into quantum physics, like, go read, I can't even begin to explain it, Dr. Caroline Leaf in Quantum Physics, that we have this connection with people. We don't even have to be in the same room with them, and we can affect them. It's crazy, and this is science. This is science, how it is proving all of this. So if you haven't gotten a Dr. Leaf book, I don't know what you're waiting on. It's incredible, all the science that shows all of this. And so I'm saying all of this to say, oh, there goes my chimes. I am saying all of this to say, I'm going back to the prayer that I prayed this morning. Lord, make me a healer. Make me a healer. That ultimately comes down to God healing our hearts. Spending time with God, letting Him guide us to, if we need to go see a counselor, go see a counselor. If we need to go, make things right with somebody, we make things right. But ultimately, God can give us inner healing. He can give us directives, whatever. Jesus is our healer, and then we become healers to the people around us. We can be healers. We have the superpower of healing if we let Jesus heal us, and then we can heal others through that. So I'm just fired up this morning. I'm just fired up this morning. I'm so thankful to God for, it's so interesting that we pray, and I absolutely, obviously believe in doctors, because I'm going to one today. I've been going to one. I'm under doctor's care. But I do believe God has led me to those doctors, and we're doing the right things. But we have so much power in our words, in our facial expressions, in the food that we serve our family. We can be healers today. We can be healers today. And sometimes that is a mental choice, right? We can have that self-control and say, I'm not going to choose the way of death. The verse that just came to mind, He said, I set before you blessings and curses. I set before you blessings and curses. Choose the blessings. So let's choose the blessings today, not just for ourselves, but for the people around us. We have so much more power than we think. And I just want to encourage you to seek the Lord for that. It's not within our, let me tell you, it's not within ourselves, other than that the Holy Spirit is within ourselves. And that the healing comes from Him that is within us. So yes. Okay, I've been talking for a while. I will get off my soapbox. I just want to encourage you guys with that today. I want to say good morning. There was a lot of people that joined this morning, so yay. Let's see, Marie, good morning. Yes, yay, I went back to the gym. Okay, her son Cam has some heart things too, so I might have to talk to you about that later. Kathy, good morning. You were able to join. Marie says my kids call it the mom look. Look, we all have the mom look. My dogs get the mom look sometimes. I think I've given my dogs looks on this podcast. I mean, not podcast, this video before. Kimberly, was it Kimberly? Tell me if you go by Kim or you go by Kimberly. I would really like to call you by whatever you go by. Good morning. Jamie got to join. Hey, Jamie. Jenny, I so agree with you. It's my heart's desire that my words and actions bring life to others and even myself. Yes, so good. Monica, good morning, Monica. We've got to hook up for coffee still. Kim, okay, thank you, Kim. Kim goes by Kim. Hi, Kim. All right, and Kim, I think, is in Kentucky. So I'm going to remember that because K and K, right? Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you guys. You guys just inspire me and really encourage me every day as we meet together, that we're in this together, my sisters in Christ, that just want to be all that God has for us. So thank you for joining. Thank you guys so much for sharing. If you want to share this, I would love some more friends to join us. It's always fun with more people, isn't it? So share this on your pages. I would appreciate it. If you have certain people in mind that you think would do this, you don't have to share it to your page, just message them. Okay, thank you guys. I am going to get off here and get to work. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you back tomorrow. Bye.